Greetings one and all, this is Riddim Works and welcome to my channel with some more Riddim Plays Far Cry 4. This time it is story mode and single player, but I want to take the opportunity to relay my observations regarding the game. Now, in terms of the game itself, you know how I feel about the game anyway, but from a technical standpoint, the story is not that overwhelming, but it's a darn sight better than Destiny's storyline. Let's say that. So there's pluses right there straight away. Now, there's 30 hours of gameplay to be had. There's a lot of things to do in the game. Plenty to keep you occupied. Now, in comparison with Far Cry 3, I think Far Cry 4 is a lot more busier in terms of obstacles you face. With Far Cry 3, the obstacles was there, but with less frequency, if you know what I mean. Now with Far Cry 4, simply just to get items of materials to expand your loadouts and your holsters and explosion bags and what have you. Yeah, you know where to go, you know what to hunt for, but you got problems up, down, in, out, left, right. You got enemies facing you in all directions, not just human enemies, but obviously, you know, animal enemies as well. And although I found it slightly frustrating to say the least, it made a welcome addition, a welcome concentrated addition to the game. You know, so it was something that, you know, you have to work for. You have to kind of box clever with your enemies to get the stuff you need. And I like that because it stretches out the game. So although there's 30 hours of gameplay, there can be a lot more if you're not really playing it right, but you want to play it right, if that makes sense. So that was a comparison with that in terms of missions and stuff like that. With Far Cry 3, the two things that frustrated me was the lack of checkmate to begin with, and even with the function being available, it didn't work properly because it was kind of distorted and staggered and you couldn't hear nothing, you know. So it would prove bothersome to me when I'm talking and people are not hearing what I'm talking, just hearing that's what they'll be hearing, and that's what I'll be hearing. So that function was worthless. And another thing as well was that when you jumped into a co-op mission, sometimes you would jump into spectator mode. And I don't know about anybody else, but that frustrated the hell out of me, man. I didn't buy my game to jump in just to spectate. You know what I mean? That's what Twitch is for. That's what YouTube is for, you know. And I would say 75% of the time, that would be my experience with co-op by jumping into a game. But apart from those two, highly enjoyable game. Loved it. But anyway, from Far Cry 3 to Far Cry 4. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is simple online connection to the game. If you want to play co-op, you better know that your connection is good. If your connection is not good, you're going to have problems. You're going to have problems in terms of co-op. You're going to have problems with your PvP. It goes without saying. It goes without saying. Your connection is going to be the major factor into how much pleasure you're going to get from this game. Now, unlike Far Cry 3, the availability to actually open up a co-op mission while you're in single player mode is a very, very good move. And it does have its problems, but I think they can be fixed somewhat. I think they can be fixed. Personally, a great example of that is Destiny. Destiny is a great example of co-op play where you have somebody actually in the map. You can have two randoms in the map, invite one person to be in your fire team. They'll accept, yeah, they'll come out the map and then they'll come back in the map. But that's the only time that is taken up with a loading screen, if you like. Because your fire team, your newly recruited fire team member has just joined, so there's no real reason for the connection to break as a result of that. But with this, it's kind of different, where when you open up, you have choices of opening up a session, joining a session, and hosting a friends only session. And it works and it doesn't work. It's kind of 50-50 when you look for a session. It's 50-50 when you host a session. But with the friends part of it, it's a little bit of more of a problem, because with the 10 keys of Kyrat that I received in order for people to come in and play a co-op mission, the ironic thing is that when I gave one of the keys to my friends, he couldn't get into the game. And apparently he downloaded a portion of the game from the PS Store, I think, in order for him to be able to play the key. And he couldn't do it. But when I turned on share play, he was able to join in the game. Not in co-op mode, but in single player mode, he was able to do that. But in terms of co-op, he wasn't able to do that, which is kind of frustrating. But at the same time, you know, it's welcoming that a brand new game like Far Cry, you're able to share play with that, unlike other games where you can't. But hopefully that will be fixed in the not too distant future. And my biggest observation of all is co-op. And it's not so much with the actual gameplay, is some of the people who play the game. Now I understand the fact that, you know, for some, Far Cry is a brand new game for them to play, and they're trying to get to grips with it. And I dig the fact that even some of you don't have no mic, but there is like a jog wheel where you press down on the D-pad and it gives you the jog wheel, and it gives you commands and stuff like that, and instructions, and you can relay that to your co-op partner. But that only works for a certain amount of time and you can get frustrated. But the biggest frustration of all is people having a mic and not giving instructions, or not following instructions, or people basically getting into co-op and just running freaking riot. I mean, I joined a game last night, and as soon as we got into the co-op mission, the guy just ran off. Didn't turn around, didn't see if I was there or not, and fucked off and left me. And then boom, ran straight towards the fort, which was fortified by mines, and he must have ran into the same place like 6 times and blew himself up. And I told him on the mic, don't run towards there because it's mined out. You need to throw a grenade or shoot a rocket launcher at it to get the doors open at the very beginning. No, he didn't listen to me. He just ran straight into there. And it was just a funny sight to see the man constantly running toward the freaking gate and blowing up himself. Now, I don't care if you don't understand English, right? But you understand when you get your ass blown up twice. That's enough for you to say, you know what, I need to take a different approach. Some do, some don't. Some people are very instinctive when they play the game. Those who know the Far Cry series, they know exactly the coup. They know exactly what needs to be done. And it's pretty much identifiable when you play with someone that gets it and knows it. But then you have some impatient, selfish gamers that play in co-op that makes the whole experience jacked up. And that's not the attitude to take in a co-op game. Yeah, PvP, fine, do your own thing, you know what I'm saying? You want to be a lone wolf, runner and gunner, that's fine, PvP. But co-op is a different beast, man. It is totally a different beast. And once you understand the mechanics of freaking co-op and the tactics used in co-op, you'll have a more better experience. But if you're running in there with a COD mentality, man, it don't make no fucking sense. You know what I'm saying? Play COD if that's the case. But anyway, that's just my observations so far on Far Cry 4. And thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by. And as always, as usual, you know the coup. Whatever the console, whatever the media, game, genre, happy gaming, because that's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Happy gaming. And until I catch you guys on the next one, Magan. Watch the